Since the time cinema arrived in India, Chennai has been at the forefront of tech innovations. Pushing the envelope further is Muonium AI Studio, which is making India's first live-action AI movie, Kamba Ramayanam, that is going to hit the screens very soon. We speak to Senthil Nayagam, who is spearheading the project. Hello, Senthil.
Hello.
So, can you tell us by how this project came to you and how you started work on the project?
I had some interest in movies for a long time, but it took really 15 years to come to a stage where instead of me approaching people, people started approaching me. So we did a lot of work in the image and deep fakes and other work. Even Hindu has covered us earlier on that part. But AI is improving. The whole part was that can we make something faster, cheaper, better? So these all three were kind of falling in place for us. We did some what do you call mythology related content from last June, and gradually we get, once you do one and release it, you get more reference, something similar to that. And eventually something came, and through a reference they reached out. This is Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, Swamiji, and they reached out to us and said, okay, hey, we are trying to do something in this space, will you be interested? So we chose to be part of this part, and this is an interesting project. So this is actually based on a 1980 drama, which was I think R.S. Manohar and troupe. They did it for Chinmay Mission, and this year is Chinmay Mission 70th year. So they say, okay, hey, can we take this and make it into a movie? That is how we got into it.
So, what was the preparatory work you had to do for the movie?
Two part. Okay, this is actually a drama which Chinmay Yuva Kendra has been performing for last 40-45 years. They have done a lot of shows of it, but each time will be different crew or thing will be participating in it. But the reference was the 1980. So we have an audio track for it. It was, I think, music was composed by K.V. Mahadevan sir, and it has songs sung by S.P.B. and Vani Jaya madam. The voice sounds so young because 1980s version, right? Or nearly 50 years back, the voice comes into play. And they had dialogues. And since it's a drama and it's a Kamban Tamil, right, which is a older form or a high diction part, and old school stage drama, right? So you have to be very expressive how the dialogues are pitched and everything. So we got that as a reference, and then we had a 1990s version of one of the plays was recorded. So we have that reference. We got both. And we chose, okay, we can do with prompt and everything, but there is no way we can match that kind of fidelity. And this generation has seen a lot of basic AI, something prompt and kind of thing. We could go beyond it. And since we had reference people from Chinmay Kendra who were actually part of these dramas for 20-30 years, we had available. So we said, okay, can we try a different approach towards it instead of just going with the traditional way? So we went into live action mode. So where we do performance capture. If you have seen this one, Avatar and movies, right? So a body capture or a face capture. But since we're using AI, we could shoot on a green screen with some video, and then we can manipulate it after the post-production kind of work. So we have approached it. We are doing nearly 2,000 shots. A typical VFX movie with that kind of thing will cost a bomb, but okay. And typically it will take several years to make. But with the help of AI, we are able to reduce both the time and effort required for making this kind of magnum opus. So from start to end, we have planned for about a 90-day plan. So we are nearly in the target.
So when did you start work on the project, and when do you think it will come to the screens?
Two parts. Okay, so we had, I think, meeting in end of November, and after a couple of discussion levels, we started in December. And though we wanted to do even faster, but there are some new challenges and new opportunities and expectation increase for us to do. We are trying to finish all the production work. Okay, the post-production work is still pending. Some work is there, but production-wise, we are trying to finish in another week. We should have a full video available for us. Dubbing is required. So initially we were planning only to do Tamil, and but with the output which we have seen and Chinmay Mission believes we can take it further. So we are planning to dub it in Hindi and English as well, so it reaches a larger audience, and probably besides some theatre, maybe OTT could be a good way to reach it out.
So you're talking about the songs and the soundtrack. So are you going to be using the same songs and the same soundtrack? And what about the dialogues? Are the dialogues going to be the same, or are you doing it again?
No, this is primarily we are taking a drama which was done in 1980s in that aesthetics with a modern outlook. That's all. Okay, so acting will be a drama style. It's not a traditional subtle version. No, this is Lakshman will be angry. Jatayu will have a dialogues. Old Tamil, lot of things, right? What people have not seen is what trying to recreate. We are not trying to say exactly what other people are creating. So we want to differentiate ourselves. Hey, we can create content which has not been attempted earlier. So that is what we are pushing for.
So the dialogues will be from the 1980s version.
We had challenges, I'll tell you. Okay, so this Tamil, over the period, the problem is a lot of people actually cannot speak that old Tamil. We tried with acting, like my daughter, other people whom we do screen tests, they had difficulty in pronouncing the words correctly. People above 40 who studied maybe 20, 30 years back, maybe Tamil was slightly better for them or pretty well for them. But people who studied in convents and English schools, Tamil was a passing reference for them. So some portions we have used actual older recording for now, and some people who have acted the older version, they have spoken the dialogues. Anyway, we have to dub it in Tamil and also Hindi in English. So we'll make sure we take it from there. But there's a charm, old content or old original part, right? See, this is not a format which people have seen. 1930s onwards, we had a lot of cultural things which were from Bhakta Prahlada to everything. Right? Once you had talkies, all had a lot of religious content. But over the period now, at least in Tamil cinema, we don't see much. Though Telugu still has a lot of religious and other content, mythology content. So this will be new, I believe, a new leaf for Tamil cinema.
So earlier when you were talking, you spoke about the challenges you faced, and you also said there were some opportunities also. So can you just tell us about that?
See, typically a normal cinema, right, pre-production people take a couple of months, 3, 4 months, 5 months. Even if you have a script, you have to plan all that part. Then you have to do a shoot. A smaller mid-budget movie will have a 30, 40 days of shoot. But since the location is required, they are doing outdoors. You know, this season is available on this day. I want to have flowers, or I want to have snow. So the shoot itself will take a couple of batches, right? And maybe 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months happens for that. Then post-production happens. That will be again a couple of months. So typically 18 to 24 months is a normal movie. If you build something bigger, let's say any Hollywood movie which has a lot of animation or live action, they plan for 5-year timeline. Okay, so when you say Avatar, okay, 2020, so they would announce it 5 years before. We would be releasing on this date 5 years in advance. That is a typical workflow for it. And we wanted to compact it. Though we said, okay, can we try 1 month or time? So I believe in what Elon Musk says, okay, can we cut the time in some way and plan accordingly? So because when you add more people or add more infrastructure or time, cost shoots up. Right. Last year, Tamil cinema was one of the worst years for cinema, in the sense nearly 90% of movies did not recover the investment. So flop or hit is not a part. Did audience come or not? That's a different story. But I'm saying is, hey, if producers don't recover the money, they will not be producing next movie. That's again a big problem for us. So how do you reduce production cost? If duration is lower, a lot of people borrow money and actually produce movies. When you have 12, 18 months or 2-year, 3-year timeline, a lot of money goes to interest, right? Again, marketing is there. And sometimes they kind of try to cater to the common, lowest common denominator. Okay, hey, no, we will make a masala movie, try to satisfy everybody and nobody is satisfied. We are still doing a very more niche one, I will say. Our budget is not a huge budget. And I'm not expecting everybody to like or work on it, but this opens a new part. Okay, hey, can we a niche audience? Can we content be there for them? And if it impresses them, there will be a lot of content coming into this format. Okay, we can do sci-fi. We can a lot of genres which are not being covered because of cost and budget reasons. Only big producers can do it. That can be attempted with AI. That is how I see. Like we have been saying, okay, can we do maybe Bahubali, right? Magnum opus took several years, huge sets and everything. If we can avoid all that part and we remove the top actors and technicians or above the belt, right? If we can reduce that cost, so instead of 150 or 200 crores, which was required to make a movie of that format, can we make it for 10 crores? So that's something which I would aspire. Hey, let's work on it. And a typical movie which involves certain other parts, maybe we think 1 crore is a good number for us to make a movie. And from concept to execution, can you do it in 3 months? But what we require, have a good script, a screenplay, and a team which dedicatedly want to work on it. That's how we are looking at. and we are expanding our capability to produce multi-year movies parallelly. And that is how, instead of being only a AI studio, we okay, let's also make content, produce our own content. That is where we are going towards.
So what is the kind of budget you had for this movie, and when do you think the movie will be ready for release?
Our budget was about 1 crore. That is what we pitched it for, and working on it. The part was, first thing, drama is different, movie is different. They have to look different. Drama, everybody's on a stage at the same time, and the only way you can call for attention is to make huge gestures, and that comes into play. And there's a particular style, okay. But movies, a lot of other things happen. So okay, we this time we chose, okay, work with what the drama style is, what we have chosen to do with it. All the montages, other parts, we have taken some liberties, but mostly we stuck with the initial format. So this is for us, it's a new experiment, but I'm happy with how the outcome has come.
So when you're using AI, so did you find it easy, because like not many models are trained on Indian situations and Indian content, if I could say that. So,
Okay.
So how are you able to overcome this challenge?
Okay, a lot of models, okay, let's say Western models, right? They have been trained on certain set of videos or content, okay. The problem with those videos is certain kind of expressions, right? In Tamil, okay, so if anybody who has done, let's say, Arangetram, right? So Bharatanatyam or Kuchipudi or any classical dance form, they can actually express a lot of things with their face. Western models, they don't have too many expressions. Being shy, I don't know, in any Western model you can say, hey, she feels shy and she did these kind of motions and actions. We can't do it. Those models are not trained on it, okay. Then there are other issues comes into place, okay, like we have Jatayu. So is he totally a bird or a half human, half bird? In Lepakshi, how he was there, and his wings were chopped, and blood is there. So there are models which will refuse if any blood or violence is shown. So there are challenges in those kind of areas, and say, hey, can we do it? How do we do a lip sync or a version for a bird? So we have done experiments for last 3-4 years. So that's what we could do and apply on that part. It should feel real or should feel good, right? As well. Okay, can we have expression which comes into play? Again, okay, can we, how accurately we can put the costumes? We had a lot of difference on that part. No, exactly old time we can go. No, we can use 1989 version of Ramayana. Ramayana had multiple makes, a Japanese version. So can you make anime? We always have option for doing all. There's no, Kamba Ramayanam is what we are doing, and we'll stick to one book and one version of it to work on. So there'll be a lot of distractions, but we chose one to implement. Yeah.
So, so how are we able to overcome these problems? Like you're talking about different expressions which the Western models are not trained in. So how are you able to overcome that?
So there are things you can't prompt. So see, I will give example. Okay. So today people have a lot more educated about AI models. Yeah, you're using nano banana. Okay, when the Vijay movie came, right, some poster teaser had something. Only one frame came in, and they said, okay, people are using that. Then video, people know about the models and everything. I'm saying, hey, this is beyond that. How do you plan? So if you are making a physical movie, so we have a team of, see, most our people who are working for us are either freshers out of college, some are interns, also engineers, right? They love all that part. Hey, these are interesting sort of problems we want to solve. The good part, they don't have experience. The bad part, they don't have experience. The good part is they don't have any baggage. So we can experiment, come with the other model. Can we replace it a different way? Can we use some other tools to do it? So we have explored that as an option. And yes, some were easy, others had some more challenges. And initially we actually do it the traditional way, but we chose, okay, hey, maybe the live action would be a better option for doing it. So then we took a lot more. So we have got some artists to perform for us. These are all volunteers. So besides, so it's a we have about nearly 30 people have worked on this movie. Some are
only for the live action part.
So they are actors, part-time. Somebody is a chartered accountant. Somebody is a college student. A lot of people have put their effort, and they all want it to succeed. That's the whole part, right? So we are putting in effort to do it. It's not a high-cost content, okay, but if it comes in, we believe a lot of people will be happy to watch it on big screen and small screen.
So do you think, like, you are doing a lot of work on AI? So do you think if AI is adopted in a fairly large way, it will sort of democratize the whole filmmaking experience. More people, it will be more approachable to the general public. They can.
Okay, we have a lot of references. Each time we see technology going in a different direction, we've seen a lot of these paths. Let's take up, let's say, DSLR cameras or a cinematic camera. Though people professionally they have been using those cameras, but if you notice 10, 15 years back, we had small cameras which came on our basic phones, then came on smartphones. The camera kept increasing. And who has more cameras and who are shooting more images? People who have selfies and everything, or Instagram did not come for professional cameramen, right? It's a selfie and mobile camera. That's what did the most content. Something similar. So millions of people, or nearly billions of people, have camera access to it. Now we don't see stories about ghosts coming in some place or UFO, because people are having camera all the time and they are ready to shoot any content, right? So we don't see those kind of things coming into play. So something similar is happening. Ultimately, what I believe is AI going to disrupt a lot of industries, right? But human as a species has certain needs, and we will have more time for doing that. So I believe till the last human is there, we would need food. Okay, when people are going to meet, so there will be some common places where people are going to meet, and probably they're going to meet over some food. So film could be the entertainment. When I'm bored of the talking part, maybe I'll watch something together. So films or entertainment could be a part. So these are areas which we believe would work, and there should be more stories, right? The stories which people want to listen. Okay, I'm not saying one story which should fit for everybody. Blockbuster is a different story, but I'm saying, hey, there's an English word called sonder, right? So everybody is a protagonist in their life. Every person whom we meet, they have a story. Will everybody's story interest everybody? I don't know, but a particular genre of story can inspire people or make them to take some action. So those are all ways we can do it. We see so much news happening, okay, and every news incident there is some story linked to it. And sometimes people are curious to. Some people read it, some people want to watch a video, or maybe put a couple of stories together and make it into a larger format. Could be a movie, right? So can everybody make a movie? Yeah, we believe that should be possible. We have to figure out how the economics of it works. Not everything will be commercial version, but there can be other versions which have to come into. So it will be a OT platform. Like we are also like doing some work on taking Chinese and Korean content, right? For some people, we buy the IP and convert them into for US markets and Indian market in multiple languages. We are actually remaking it movies with AI with the 4K content. We are generating that as well. So these are kind of capabilities which comes along with building all these.
In this, especially now, there's a lot of talk about AI disrupting a lot of industries and a lot of jobs going to be lost because of AI. How do you think AI will affect filmmaking?
Okay, already let's start accepting a lot of movies have AI in it. Maybe they're not disclosing it. So think of it, okay, I come with a story and people used to do 6 months or 30 iterations to come with a story. I can do 30 iterations in a couple of days instead of 6 months. So that saves time in some way and get a feedback in a way, okay. Like we end up doing for a lot of pre-production work for a lot of movies. We have done some work on it. We have done look development for some movies. We have done a lot of these parts. Sometimes what happens is we have a bound script, everything looks great. But we can ask a LLM like ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok and say, hey, which character looks weak, or you're not establishing it enough. So we can get some quick feedback immediately, and we can get back to, hey, this is not done, okay. Or assume I want to have sets like for Ramayanam, right? So ideas we had about need to recreate 30 characters and a 2.5 hour movie, and each place a location is there. Gohan scene will happen on a river. Water plus simulation plus content. Now, beyond prompt, what else we can do it? Ravana, Lanka is there. A fire has to happen there. Jatayu, where do they meet? Each character has to be do an introduction is there. Some effort is going to it. So we have to get the environment. So whatever art direction part is there. So what we do now is, hey, come to us. We'll get you the right people. Okay. So can you tell me exactly what environment or scene? If you have a bound script and you know art director or somebody who can imagine for you, we can recreate it in 3D for you. right? We make it as a game, so that you can go and play it and say, hey, this is how the environment looks. Now you decide where you want to put a camera. If you have a cinematographer, say, hey, this environment is ready, can I put a camera in this space, and we can have these characters who will be in this, and then we can give somebody, hey, you have a costume designer or a look development, we can do it. Okay, hair is long, short, whatever. So it's not only for AI movies. Assume somebody is making a 150, 200 crore movie, a Lokesh Kanagaraj movie or a Rajnikant movie. They have huge budgets. So can we do planning better? If we can reduce wastage, cost will come down, right? And can we quickly execute that? So what used to take weeks, months, can we do it in days? That is what effort comes into play. And this will benefit everybody in the industry. That's how I see it. Each time there's a transition, there'll be challenges, but we believe AI is in a good way for people to try new things.
So you think AI will basically speed up at least the planning process, and maybe make it easier for people to envision or bring to life their new ideas and locations?
Often big budget and small budget movie actually look very distinct. Okay, so they don't have great sets or average locale and everything. That will be a problem for a lot of these parts. They can't shoot outside. They will not go to different countries, right? But once you have a green screen or a virtual production environment, and with 3D and with AI, we can create all these in place. Suddenly, low budget movie should not look like a low budget movie. So ultimately, people have time. Okay, big budget movie and small budget movie, we are paying the same theater price for ticket, and we are putting our time. So you are watching an OTT, if the content is good, you'll be happy. Just because they spend a lot of money, see, it doesn't matter how much effort somebody put. What is the outcome? That is what people are measuring, and that is what gives you joy. So it's a slow budget movie or big budget movie, I don't care about that part. But if you do a good job, I think people are going to like it. So like we watch a lot more content besides our own native language, right? We are watching Malayalam movies, we are watching Marathi movies, or any other content which get recommended. Hey, the movie is good. It made us feel like when Kantara came in, the first movie, only a couple of minutes was a part. First, nearly one of us a pretty average thing. Suddenly, last 5-10 minutes, they made an impact. So, audience have a better taste today, and they are exploring new things. If audience do not get what they like in the movies get released, they may not watch it there. But in OT, they say, hey, we love this movie. Wish I knew about it. And again, the timeline is shortage. Right? So if they knew about it, maybe they'll watch it in theater. That kind of feel we get it. So good stories, we believe there's always an audience, a market for it.
Thanks, Senthil. Thanks for coming and sharing your views. And I hope to see the movie very soon in the theaters.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.